Okay, so this video is going to be a quick introduction to Colosseum. If you're interested in a more comprehensive guide, I would just check out the guide in the description or like pin comment below. Over here, I go over pretty much everything. So blessings, common costumes. I talk about which costumes are good. I talk about meta teams. I show you how to team build and counter teams. And I also give you a bunch of strategy if you're just trying to get 40 wins and in champion rank, or if you're playing for a top 10 or top 1. Uh, I give you a bunch of stuff here. So if you're more interested in like a big detail guide, I would check that out. If you're just kind of new to Golden Coliseum and want to see how it works, I would just stick around for the rest of this video. So basically how Golden Coliseum works is you're going to have a little arena here, go to formation, and then you're just going to dump a bunch of units on the board. And then whenever you have the units that you want, buffers, tanks, DPS, whatever, over here you can kind of choose the order that they're going to attack in. And then after that, you're also going to choose blessings. So blessings are going to be like a team-wide buff, basically. So there's, offensive blessings, there's defensive blessings, there's utility blessings, and then you got to choose them for the first and second side, depending on if you go, first or second. I'm not going to cover all the blessings in this video. I would just check out the guide if you're more interested in that. Outside of that, let's see, what else do you need to know? You get 100 battles for free every week. You can refresh them once you're out, and you get up to 400 per week. So it's pretty cheap. It's like 30 gems to get all 400 battles. So if you're trying to like rank or just play for fun, you can do up to 400 battles. Most people are probably just going to want to play enough to clear out the shop of the rewards. In order to clear out the shop, you pretty much just have to finish the weekly mission, which is just win 40 times. So you can usually just set up a team, send it until you win 40 times, and then call it a day. You should be able at that point. Should be able at that point to just clear out the shop easily from here. It shouldn't really matter what rank you actually end up in. You should still have enough to clear out the shop. So for the last thing, you can see I have 2 Leclisses on my board right now. So in this mode, separate costumes for a single character basically count as separate characters for this mode. Whereas, for every other mode, usually it's just one character rotating a bunch of costumes. In here, each costume counts as a separate character, and they're just going to use whatever skill that they have. So this is Taunt Leclisse, this is Counter Leclisse. They're just going to use the same skill over and over and over, because in this mode there's really no cooldown or SP restrictions. So whatever skill they're using, they're just going to use every single turn. And for the last thing I want to mention, so in this mode, gear does not matter. It doesn't take any gear into account at all. However, it does take into account like the level of your unit, your awakenings, your engravings, your dupe levels. It does take into account like all your pots and your stats on this page, and also the bursts, which they recently just released. So it takes into account all of that, but gear does not matter in this mode. Mostly just matters if you have a bunch of units, if you have their dupes, and then if you have, all their other like little upgrades for them. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me just double check. If you're trying to play a bunch of battles, you can just auto skip here. And then you don't have to watch them all. Just send like 100 battles or whatever. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment. Otherwise, I would check out the bigger guide in the description if you're more interested in a comprehensive Colosseum guide. All right, goodbye.